You've got to listen to the audience and give them ultimately what they want, because that is your or what they're prepared to consume, I guess, is the way to phrase that. But at the same time, you know, you have influence, and your intelligence is going to invite curiosity and debate and conflict, because people are going to want to challenge your opinions, and you seem better equipped than most to be able to defend those opinions with rationale. Do you ever find yourself wanting to kind of elevate the argument and elevate the discussions rather than engaging in the points that are being made on the face merit, which is what I see happen a lot, not necessarily by you, but by a lot of people that see problems within their football clubs? They deal with things on a very short term, or at least very superficial basis.
I mean, nothing's binary, right? The longer you work in football, the more you realize nothing is binary. There is more than one side. There's more than one version of a story. Multiple truths can be evident at the same time, and everything exists on a spectrum. So, in terms of that diagnostic, I'll give you an example. So, right now, so we are recording on a Wednesday evening. I am currently writing a piece on Harry Maguire. Okay, and the piece I've been asked to do is Harry Maguire is not in a great run of form. What should Gareth Southgate do? Now, the succinct pub version of that is drop him, he's rubbish. Is one pub version of it, right? A certain thing you might find on social media is
just glug, flack. We crack on with our darts
rubbish,
game.
This and this and this. Rafael van der Vaart, who's been very, very, very loud about his criticism of Harry Maguire, might say words to that effect. And maybe, you know, I could write that and follow that and see what my editor thinks. But what I'm going to do is, and I'm talking to you right now as I'm partway through this piece. First of all, we need to look at one, why is Gareth Southgate so keen on Harry Maguire? So first you've got to explain that. Two, so you say, why does Gareth Southgate like Harry Maguire in the first place? So that's basically
you've got to set the table first of all. You've got to establish what the truth is, 100%.
So you do that. Why does Southgate like Maguire? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain good Harry Maguire. So Harry Maguire's last good season, I'm going to explain what he did. Two, I'm then going to explain why is Harry Maguire not doing that anymore. So I'm going to look at last season and say, these things happened, this is how his things went. Whoop. Three, and so in the two, I go, see, when Harry Maguire is good, he's really useful. But Harry Maguire's not been like that for a while, which gives Southgate two things to do. He can either have faith that Maguire comes good, or he can find an alternative. Then you go into number three. And three is something that I don't necessarily have to do, but I'm choosing to do because that's how I want your piece to run. So three is, before we continue, let's talk about Gareth Southgate's England. So I'm going to explain to you how the England team work, because they're a completely different ecosystem as compared to club football. There will be a lot of pieces, and I think there'll be a lot of argument just saying Harry Maguire is bad, full stop. And we'll lump together his club form and his country form and whatnot, and not discuss the two very different ways football managers approach problems and how Harry Maguire has been useful to two different types of football managers. So I'm going to explain what England do. Then, point four, I'm going to go, here are the alternatives in the England setup for Harry Maguire, if someone wished, and explain why those people are alternatives. That is a case of a conversation you might hear in the pub. What should England do about Harry Maguire? That could be a 30-minute owl effing blinding certain things called slabhead. And me going, well, actually, here is a short dissertation on that. Now, should that be a short dissertation? Probably not. I'm going to explain a couple of times. I'm also not going to explain them I'm not going to try and be comprehensive in everything I describe, because if you do, everything turns up being 2,000 to 3,000 words long, and two, you just end up being absolutely exhausted. Something I've learned over the last 2 seasons covering football is, if you try and be comprehensive in every single piece of work you do, you exhaust yourself and you risk burnout. So there are, and something that you can do a lot more now you're writing online is you can put in Easter eggs and jokes and nudges and go, remember that thing? We'll get back to that at a later date. Wink, wink. I used to do this a lot when I was covering Southampton, where I'd say, hey, here's the thing. I'm going to get back to you in January because I need 3 or 4 more games to hit the sample size total. And that's how, elevate.